Hi everybody, it's Jen. This is the coloring portion of my holiday card series number 3 card. I thought I would separate it out in order to keep both videos down to a watchable length. So I'm coloring 2 of the images from the Inkadinkado Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer set, which was available for purchase this year in 2016 from Michaels. So I'm using distress inks and markers to color this image on some Strathmore watercolor paper. And to give the snowman some dimension, I am using pumice stone, which is a very light gray. You could also use a light blue color if you wish, but I wanted to keep him more gray because I'm using blues and greens for his vest. So for his vest, I'm using pine needles and mermaid lagoon. And I did Google the image of this little snowman from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie, and his plaid vest was a combination of blue and green, and so these colors matched perfectly. So I'm kind of doing a wash of both of the colors, trying to kind of meld them together so that it doesn't look too harsh in terms of the plaid component. And I actually go over this a number of times. You can see I sort of let it dry, then go back over with some more of the ink. And I'm using a size 2 round brush here. For the hat, I'm using fossilized amber, which gives a nice gold color. And then I come back to the vest yet again, adding in more of the mermaid lagoon and the pine needles until I get it to be the color that I want. I wanted it to have some vibrancy to it. And not look washed out. So it did take quite a few tries with that. Now with the umbrella, I also added some black soot just to give it some extra shading, and then going over in the pine needles. And then for the cheeks, I'm using spun sugar just to give him a little bit of rosiness on his cheeks, seeing it's cold outside in the Arctic. So working on the vest yet again, you can see how these images, although small, can sometimes take quite a bit of time coloring. So I wanted to go back over the lines. So all of the vertical lines I did in the pine needles, and all of the horizontal lines I did in the mermaid lagoon. And it's definitely much darker in person than it's showing up here on screen. But you can see how it turned out in the card video that is also posted at the same time. So now on to Rudolph, and I'm using, what am I using? Brushed corduroy for the body, and I just am doing a wash over the entire image here, just a very light wash, and then I'm going to mix some of the brushed corduroy with walnut stain to give him a little bit more dimension. The rump end didn't quite blend as well as I would have liked, but I didn't want to play with it too much because once the paper gets wet, it can kind of chunk a little. So I was trying to be careful. So I'm adding very light layers as I go. So just want to give some shadows under the legs, under the belly there where it would be most dark, and then on the back end. Now once I turned the camera off and this had dried, I did go back over it for another coat. And for the nose, I'm using some candied apple and some fired brick, I believe. So now I'm just doing the details with a black glaze pen just to bring some of that back out. And I'm going to do some white dots on his hind end, and the coloring is finished. Thanks for watching.